So we'll begin. Um, all right, a very good evening to everyone. My name is Parinati and I'm the host for today. And SDG VONG Cafe Wins brings to you a very interesting Socratic discussion on the topic air pollution. So we have our four panelists over here, Ariba, Aman, Himadri, and Nikita. So, like since you all must be aware, air pollution is caused by the solid and liquid particles and certain gases that are suspended in the air. And these particles and gases can come from like pretty much everything that we can think of, from a car, maybe a truck, the factories, uh, dust, pollen, like the pores. And a few things which I feel contribute mainly or mostly are the certain type of wildfires and the volcanoes. They're all natural causes, of course, but they heavily contribute towards it. So yeah, this is all about it. So you guys, the panelists, will are going to introduce themselves. So you all can one by one.
You ask us to introduce ourselves.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead
I'm
one by
Aman,
one.
and that's all.
What, Parinati, I think you can start asking questions, वरना आगे ही नहीं बढ़ेगा.
I thought, everybody, since I'm not introducing you guys, so you will introduce yourself now, like your name
Okay.
and one line.
Okay.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Himadri. That basically means the highest peak in the Himalayan range. Thank you so much.
This was nice. My name is Aman, which means peace.
Right. You want to go ahead, Narika?
Hi, I'm Ariba and I'm a climate change and disaster management student.
All right.
Hi, my name is Prayam, and it means someone who's liked by everyone.
All right. Nikita, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Nikita, and I'm pursuing engineering, and I'm like Wongle since a month.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now we'll move on to our topic. Since I already mentioned what air pollution is, so my first question to you guys would be, according to you all, what do you guys think are the main causes of air pollution?
The main causes of okay, go on.
No, actually, we'll raise hand, and that'll be better.
Uh, how about I take out names? I'll take him. If someone has to go, I'll take him. All right, Aman, you go ahead first.
Like mostly, it comes from factories and vehicles, which I am aware of. And other than that, there are forest fires that causes it. Also, there are a lot of carbon emissions in a sense for various processes. Mainly, it's because of industrialization.
All right. Next, Himatri, you want to go? Himatri is spoken. Ariba, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, the main causes are the exhaust and like factories and cars and trucks. But yeah, the natural causes would include volcanic eruptions and wildfires and burning of fuels like coal, petroleum, etc.
All right. How about Prayam? You want to answer that?
Yeah, the main causes would include like the fossil fuel, uh, burning, and at the same time, like the depletion of the stores where carbon is actually stored, like the oceans and the soil.
All right. Yeah, that is one point for sure. How about Himadri? You want to go now? All right, Nikita, you go ahead.
I would start talking about the impacts. Like as everyone mentioned, there's a lot of pollution because of industries, vehicles, and all this has increased a lot with time, and that is having a very serious effect on environment as well as on human beings. and animals also. um, if we talk about environment, there are so many wildfires which is also affecting, it's all interconnected basically, it's affecting animals. Then because of the wildfires, again the air pollution is increasing, it's damaging our environment. And if we talk about humans, there are so many diseases, respiratory diseases, lung diseases, and so many negative impacts.
Mhm.
So I think that's all for the impacts.
All right. What we were actually talking about was causes, although, but yeah, what you said is actually very true. So yeah, in continuation to what we just discussed, like how severe do you guys feel it is? And before we move on to how severe it is, like since we're already talking about the causes, let's firstly talk about the impacts. So, like air pollution has impacts on all the three spheres of the environment, right? On the humans, the uh, animals, and the ecology as a whole as well. So, like according to you guys, what do you feel like? Which sector is getting impacted the most, and why? Aman, you want to go ahead, or yeah, Ariba, go ahead. Sorry.
Aman, you go ahead.
Oh,
So for me again, humans are the most affected sector. That is because uh, we don't have any other thing to do. Like animals, if you see, animals can move around places. Like they are wild, they can move around places. But we have to stick in a particular. We are bound to stay in a particular location for a while. So yeah, humans are affected most.
all right.
The environment is affected the most, and because environment is affected, that's why humans are getting affected by it. So yeah, environment is more affected, I will say.
All right.
Because we are facing the repercussions of the environment.
Yeah, agreed. So, like, anybody you feel that, like, why do you actually feel that it is the environment which is getting affected? Is it because of the things we are able to see around us, or because of the way that we suffer due to the air pollution?
Like the environment is getting affected because we know that the climate change is happening. We know the heat budget of the earth is going haywire. It is not what it was 10 years ago or what it was 20 years ago. Climate change is a natural process. It happens. It has to happen eventually, and it will happen gradually. But the pace that it's going on, like in the last 10 years, we have made the progress of 15 years, of 50 years, or we can also say more than 15 years, 50 years. So that is because of the heat budget going haywire, and because of the climate change, and that is all related to air pollution, the aerosols in the air, etc.
Yeah. All right. Next, Madhuri, you want to go?
Also, when we
Yes.
talk
Yeah.
about, sorry, Madhi,
Sorry.
just to
Yeah.
add
No.
one
No.
thing.
All right. Go ahead.
To add this thing, like even humans are a part of environment, so we cannot judge upon who is getting affected more.
Yeah. True. Very true.
In my perception, it is humans because some scientists suspect air pollutions as cause of birth defects, as well as it causes long-term damage to people's nerves, brain, kidneys, liver, and other organs.
Right. Nikita, you want to go ahead?
Yes, so I think environment is the most affected one out of all it, because we are not just damaging it for now, but our upcoming generations, uh, after that generations. So it's like the damage that we are causing now, the pollution, climate change, name it whatever. It's a long term effect that's happening on the environment, and it's not reversible. Even though we start working like too much, we have to start taking small steps and then lot of actions. But I think we should start it, because if we don't, the earth gets most damaged out of it.
Yeah, that is true. How about you, Pran? What do you think?
I feel it's the birds that are affected the most. Like they have been made to lose their habitats at a very large scale, and after that, the humans have it, and the terrestrial.
Hmm. True. Even I agree to that. Yeah. So, since we were already talking about the causes of air pollution, like most of you all said that the burning of the fossil fuel, the exhaust from the cars, and all those things, the engines, they produce most of the pollutants that cause air pollution, right? So, do you guys think that if humans wouldn't have been there at all, or had the population been controlled and humans would have been there as much as they should have been, or would there be any less air pollution? Would the condition have been better?
Yes, definitely. Like if the main causes are the fossil fuel and the pollution, like the pollution aspect of it would have been reduced. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
would be just the natural cycles.
uh, well,
Yeah,
definitely.
like a body has a fever, that the natural cycle, like the volcanic eruptions, the flood, etc. They all are a part of a natural process. So if humans wouldn't be there and there would be no human intervention, then the air pollution, it would just be a normal cycle.
Yeah.
And it would be
As
very less. Yeah.
Go ahead, Aman.
So if humans weren't there, like there would still be air pollution, but it won't amount to be like called as pollution. Like others said, it would be just like any other natural process. Humans, and also if humans were there, like population does not matter. It was about the practices that they adopted.
No. All right.
population pressure on cities leads to air, water, noise, and environmental pollution, as well as decrease in housing facilities and green vegetation. Like it has a direct relationship, like demand and supply. So
All right. So, like, could you elaborate more, Madhuri? I wasn't really able to get what you were trying to get at.
uh, in CV, pollution is there in our environment just because population is there. Population of India is 140 crores, and that is the reason why India is on number one, I guess, in pollution.
Is it? I am not very sure.
No,
Maybe.
half.
All right. Maybe. Yeah. All right. So, okay, that's good. You may go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I agree with Himadri's point because we are the contributors of pollution, if you can say it that way. We have increased the ratio and the percentages in large number. So if humans weren't there, uh, yeah, true that everything would have been a natural processes, but we have caused pollution. We have literally started it. So I think yes.
All right. So, well, since we're talking about humans, do you guys feel animals in any way also cause air pollution? Any of the ways?
Could you repeat and be a bit louder?
All right. So, I'm saying that my question was that since we're talking about humans, so do you guys feel that animals also contribute to air pollution in any way? Like, is there any instance?
Like not really, but again, like they do. Even they breathe and emit carbon
Yeah,
dioxide outside.
that's the only kind of pollution I think they can cause.
Yeah, agreed.
Breathing and yeah, inhale and exhale. Yeah.
There's one more situation they can cause air pollution is if they're carrying on diseases. So disease can also be a part of air pollution.
All right. Yeah. So, all right. So the next question is, do you guys feel that air pollution is more harmful than land or water pollution in any way?
Yes,
Or
it is.
like it is? All right.
Because
So
air
go
pollution,
ahead, Amit.
we have to breathe everything. Like we have to breathe, and we cannot just have a filter around us walking. We are walking and having a filter around us breathing. Whereas talking about land, land can be cleaned. Water can be filtered out before drinking and using it. but air with थोड़ा सा there is an issue.
Yeah, agree, true. You want to go ahead, Ariba?
Yeah, I think the same thing because yeah, that's what we are exposed to directly. We can avoid another type of another type of pollution, but air pollution is certainly unavoidable.
All right. Ryan, you want to go ahead?
In my opinion, I would like put land pollution over air pollution and then water pollution. Because, like, according to UN reports, if the soil that we have currently, if that is not worked upon, by 2060, they are predicting around about 20 to 25 civil wars for hunger
All
because there
right.
would be no crops.
All right. That's a big amount. Yeah. Nikita, you want to go ahead? Or maybe Himant?
Air pollution causes more death than water pollution, and I think it was around six. I remember I read somewhere that the number is 6 million. Uh, I mean, due to air pollution, 6 million died in the year 2017, and the number was 1.7 million if we talk about water pollution. So, of course, air pollution has impacted more. I mean, it has more harmful effects.
All right. Nikita, you want to go ahead?
Sorry, Pardi, can you repeat?
Yeah. All right. Also, my question to everybody was that uh, according to you, like, what kind of pollution is air pollution more harmful to us or the environment as compared to water or you know land soil pollution?
Yes, I think air pollution is the most harmful one, as we like breathing is a like basic necessity, and we cannot wear a mask 24/7, right?
Yeah.
Even though because of other like things we started wearing it, like if we get some viruses and like that time we wear it. But apart from that, we cannot wear mask to keep, like protect
Mhm.
the pollution, right?
Yeah, I think that. So, like, this is these are most of the impacts that we just discussed. So, what do you guys feel, maybe at a personal level or at a large level, or what can be done to improve the air pollution at the current situation we're at? Because with the current rate at which we are polluting the environment, more specifically the air, we all know how hazardous the consequences can be. So, in your opinion, what do you guys? Anybody could go ahead first.
So one of the things to be done is to create awareness around it, like what is really happening, and then adopting some sustainable development practices. Along with that, there is an introduction of green practices in corporates also at the moment. That
Hmm.
needs to be like expanded.
Yeah.
And also government should make some initiatives in order to like filter out the overall air. There were some projects that were working out before, like for small locations, like small areas that would be covered and filtered out, like the whole air around it will be filtered out. So similar projects on a large scale could like help a lot.
All right. How about you, Brian? What do you feel?
I feel like the very basic ones, cars, cooling, save electricity, that would reduce the carbon emissions. And like one thing, if as a collective democratic, if the electorate focuses on like reducing those emissions, we can actually bring forth changes in the policy, especially for speaking about green power.
Yeah. So, Ariba,
A
what
number
do you
of
feel? Yeah. Go ahead, Anatoli. Sorry.
a number of things can be done. First of all, minimize air pollution from cars. Secondly, walk, take bikes, use less plastic instead of using. I mean, use less plastics and use public transportation. Save
Hmm.
energy. I mean, we use a lot of energy. I don't know if you guys know, but India is the largest producer of electricity, and it is the largest consumer of electricity. So there is no point of consuming more, producing more. And maintain your wood stove or fireplace, recycle things, consume less, and choose sustainable products. Eat local, plant trees, raise awareness. There are a number of things. So
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead now, Arita.
Green hydrogen is something that the government is working on. It is a great alternative if it is stored properly and people can access it more conveniently. Then yeah, sure. And planting more trees would always go a long way, because that's how the only three countries that are carbon free right now are carbon negative are Suriname, Panama, and one another place I forgot the name of. But yeah, they are the carbon negative countries, and they emit more oxygen than what they consume. So yeah, and although all these countries, what they have in common is that they have a large conservation of plants, and yeah, Bhutan. Okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that could go a long way.
All right. So since we're already talking about countries and other states, so I guess you all must be aware, like countries like Iceland, Canada, they have very low levels of pollution. One factor, according to me, what I feel could be, lower ratio of population. But apart from that, what is, one of the main reasons behind them having clean air and less
Like two major reasons behind it is one is the adoption of sustainable practices, which they have realized very early, and second is that there are regulations, like there are strict regulations that that is curbing this thing.
pollution, right? Uh, how about you, Prem? What do you think?
Like we are assessing these countries on the basis of the present status, right? But
Yeah,
if we take about the like past 100 years, they have
yeah.
made their contribution to the pollution already, and it is
True.
after that they have moved into the sustainable practices because they had the economic factor in. So
Yeah, that is there. They do have the. But do you also feel, Frank, that the policies which the government is implementing over there, and the willingness of the people to also take care of their country, is that also a factor which you think?
definitely, like one thing is policy, like we bring in the policy, and even after 10 to 15 years after that, that's when the consumer behavior changes, right?
Yeah,
So they are the
yeah, that is
secret
there.
lies.
Yeah, true. How about you, Ariba? What do you feel?
Yes, the same thing, because the developing countries like India argued in this 2021 Glasgow conference that we need funds to implement the same amount of technology that the other countries are investing, and these funds should be provided by Paris and other countries that are already developed and that have contributed to air pollution all these years. Yeah. So, and these funds are not been provided by countries after the Paris Agreement. So yeah, we need more funds and more power from other developed countries, because we are not financially that strong.
Yeah, all right. So, but what doubt which just arose into my mind? Like, if this is something very financially related, then most of the if I pinpoint one of the things which contribute heavily to the carbon emission is are the use of vehicles, like, right? Because if I talk about my city, I'm from Lucknow. So in Lucknow, over the past 4 years, I've noticed there a humongous increase in the number of vehicles. All right. So if each family or each person starts owning, each family pretty much has three cars. So imagine the amount of car which is coming from a family of four. So isn't that something which doesn't actually require economic? Although yes, what I completely agree with you. But don't you feel like we they have finances to buy three cars? So it's something more related towards their conscience, or maybe there is no awareness among them, no sensitization.
Obviously, the people are India are not that aware if we compare them to people in Europe, because now they are technology technologically they are the most advanced. They are already on the whatever the tire is. They have already achieved all their goals, and now they are going back to the older ways. They are going back to the greener ways, and they are promoting those ways. So obviously, yeah. What was I saying? I don't know. Someone can go on.
Yeah, all right, we got your point, Riva. Already.
When we were talking about vehicles, so see, electric vehicles is something that it is trying to resolve this thing,
Yeah.
but it is coming in very late. Like it has been there globally, it has been present globally. India, it's coming very late.
Yeah.
Firstly,
True.
also second thing is the quality of public transport that we get in India. It's not up to mark. Only if I talk about Delhi NCR, me as a student would only use metro Siva. I would never ever even dare to go in a DTC bus.
Yeah.
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 Because that's what government needs to work upon, and it is no
Yeah.
problem of finances because government is already in debt. It can have loads of debt from World Bank. It can ask for loans, etc. So this is just an excuse not to like do things.
Yeah. That's what I think so too. I think we are being provided. Of course, yeah, we would need more money because ours is a developing country right now, and a third world country as well. So, yeah, we need a lot of support, but at the same time, we are also developing at a good rate, I believe. Alright. So, Himadri, you wanna put in anything? Brian, you wanna say something?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Himadri, let Brian
I
go ahead
had
first.
I had a
Yeah.
question about electric vehicles. Like India is majorly dependent on coal for its electricity
Hmm.
production. So even if we bring in the electric vehicles, the energy source of those would be the coal.
Yeah, that is
In terms
also
of
one.
emissions,
Yeah, we would. Yeah, go ahead, Aman.
Yeah,
Sorry.
to counter this, my dad is working in one of the renewable sources company, which is
Mm-hmm.
like under Ministry of Railways. So
All
government
right.
is taking initiatives, and there is a lot of potential to generate electricity from natural resources. The
Okay.
point that's what it's just about adoption. It will take some time, but government is
Hmm.
doing it, and there is a lot of potential. We can generate the electricity for the whole country by only through windmill and everything.
All right. So implementation is, one thing which needs to be focused on. Yeah, that is there. We just lack you know, on the rules and regulations. They exist, but I don't think we're able to follow any of those. Yeah, talking about rules and regulations. One more question which comes out. Like, are there any laws or policies which you feel should be bought? Like, there are already existing a lot of those in our country.
Taxes.
But
I mean, there should be more taxes on cars. We all know that Karnataka has the highest tax on cars. Karnataka has remained the state with the highest on-road price of vehicles for a very, very long time. And that's because it has the highest road tax in India. And if you are purchasing a vehicle below 4 lakhs, the road tax will become 13% of vehicles, which is actual price. I
all right.
mean, vehicles actual price. I mean, so nobody
That's a
really
lot.
buys a car in Karnataka.
Yeah, that actually forces them to use public transport. How do you guys feel?
But actually, does that matter? Like India, very wealthy people, nobody cares. Like they can shell out if they're shelling out like 10, 15 lakhs, so they won't mind shelling out another 50,000. Does not matter.
So, like, what do you feel? What kind of policy should be brought in that case?
Policies, see, policies तो आ जाएगा. But again, the problem is implementation. Policies are still there. बहुत basic level पे थोड़ा बहुत policies है, but it does not work for Ambani and Adani. So
Yeah,
similarly,
true.
so
So,
that's
like, like I have a doubt. So, what we're doing here is, since we know that So then how do we stop them? Like suppose, let us take an example. A person, a family that has family has a lot of cars. They have money as well. Of course, they have money. That's why they have so many cars. So are there no policies or no ways we can actually convince them, or to stop them from contributing so heavily towards the air pollution in any way? Like we cannot convince them to sit in a public bus, right? Cannot. So in that case, what can we do? Like, is there anything as youth of the country, anything which can be all can do? Yeah, go
I
ahead,
think
Ariba.
that's where environmental norms come in because you can't force them. You can't tell them to not buy new cars
Yeah,
and not use them. That's why you have to be responsible, and that's why they need to be educated about the
yeah,
subject and what and how it's affecting our lives.
yeah, true.
Like,
The only thing we can do is changing their thought process. That's it.
Yeah, changing their attitude. Yeah, that's what the movement is about, VONG movement, and that is what's going to help them.
Go ahead, Priyan.
so like I had two things, but I kind of lost the track of it. So one of it was कि जो जैसे wealthy people are, okay, we cannot stop them for the cars, but we
Hmm.
can actually put regulations on the corporations that they run in terms of uh, like lowering their emissions. A rule on like
Hmm.
हर कॉर्पोरेशन का कितना एमिशन होना चाहिए उसके बेसिस पे उसका टैक्स
Hmm.
something on those lines can be brought if it
Yeah,
is
it's a nice.
feasible enough. And the second thing was कि India is more of a status driven country than a wealth driven country. So like that's why you would see a single person purchasing so many cars that he wouldn't even use that on a single day.
Yeah, I think so. Agree. True. All right. So in order to sum up our discussion, since we're pretty much covered all the topics we covered. So, if you talk about the WOG movement and more other movement like ours, which have been initiated, how as youth can we be the change makers in terms of what is actually happening around us, the air pollution, all that.
See,
We can start by educating our community at a time, our society, and we can try to make them change their ways, their attitude towards the problem. And one community at a time, if we change, then we can go a long way. Like,
Mm, yeah, understood. Understood. Yeah. Go ahead, Aman. You were saying.
true. I agree with Ariba. Since we are working with youth, so we can change how they will think about purchasing vehicles in the future,
Yeah.
and that's about it. And it will be a network thing. Like I'll tell a few people, they'll tell a few people, and this is gonna work
Mm,
like that.
yeah, that's a nice idea. How about you, friend?
So like the two factors. First one is like on a very very large scale, it would affect the electorate, and
Mm-hmm.
that would show in the policies. And another level is the individual level, like home composting and saving electricity and all those simple basic stuff.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Madri? You want to conclude our discussion?
Yeah, use of fans instead of air conditioners, and turn off the lights when they are not in use, because that's a very important thing, and we can implement this on a day-to-day basis. So
All right. Yeah. That's what I think we should focus on. Starting on the very basic levels, and together we'll sum it up. All right. So it was a very interactive session, and I really enjoyed it doing a Socratic discussion with you guys. So, anything anybody wants to say? We are just concluding. All right. So nobody wants to say anything. All right, then we'll end it. Thank you guys for joining in.
Thank you.
thank
All
you.
right.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. I'll stop the recording now.
Okay.